Welcome to another day of How to ABL. Today is Universal Male Fracture Day. It is 9/5/2023. I will briefly talk about the rotation I'm going to be using here, and then I'm going to show you an example of it being used. And then I will give you additional information if you want to stick around for a little bit here. And I probably could have put on a little bit more information. Technically, 7's not really a cancel, is it? Good to know. I'm taking a couple notes here on the rotation. I like to keep track of those so that I can reference them later and share them with other people with a copy paste. So anyway, using Black Bolt today, he is tier 4. Basically, you're going to be doing 5 until he lands, and you can do a 3-4. Let him do his scream. You can do a 2 cancel 1. And then you're going to do pretty much the exact same thing, but then right after you do your 4, you're going to do a 7-6 and let the 6 play out. And I usually follow that with a 2-1. So let me show you that in action. We are going to do swap for canceling. We're not going to use the striker to cancel, and we'll talk about why after if you want to stick around. So Black Bolt runs up 5, drops on the ground 3-4. Nice procs going on there. He screams towards the sky 2-1. All right, I'm going to sneak in a co-op there. 7-6 this time, like I said, right at the end, and let that play out. Boom, 2-1. 5-3-4. You move around on your 4. 2-1. All right, now he's jumping center. I'm going to go ahead and jump right on him and keep attacking until he is cancelable right there. I'm going to do a 3-5-4. 4 cancels, and then I'm going to swap right back to Black Bolt, who is coming in for a striker. Okay. 5-3-4-7-6. That was not ideal. I wish I could have switched back to him a lot sooner than that. Make sure we get these purple orbs. Those are more important than the rotation. 5-3-4. Move around a little bit if you want to. Stay out of the red attacks, because remember, if you take damage, it does affect your score. It takes away some of your score. Oh, crap. My skill didn't go off because it wasn't close enough. You need to be making sure that you are close enough to him to cancel skills. There's a proc. Oof. That proc is going to hurt because then I'm going to fall off here. All right, so I'm going to wait for a second, let these cool down so I can get my procs back on. He's running. 5, yep, 5-3-4-7-6. Let that finish. That was a good proc. 2-1. We are back on now. 5-3-4. That's actually probably going to hurt my score there. 2-1. All right, I was able to pick up the orb easily. 5-3-4-7-6. Let that finish. 2-1. 5-3-4. I can move around, so I'll chase him. 2-1. 5. Nope, he's going to jump center. That's fine. We'll pick up the orb. As soon as he's targetable, we're going to hit him with the 5. 3-4. And then we're going to swap to Thanos, and we're going to do a 3-5-4. Hopefully that cancels, and we're going to swap right back. Perfect. 5-3-4-7-6. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. So you got to work with it. Got to be flexible. 5-3-4. Co-op 2-1 this time, since that co-op was available. Why not? 5-3-4-7-6. 2-1. 5-3-4. Get out of the way of that attack. 2-1. Go pick up that orb. 5-3-4-7-6. That's a beautiful one. Nice proc. And Odin Force extra 150% damage. It's important to get those going on. Ooh, follow him over here. I hate when he runs away. He's kind of like all over the place. He really is. 5-3-4-7-6. And I'm actually going to score just a tad bit less than the 6.3 that I just scored prior to recording this re-record, because there's a few things that I wanted to clarify, like the rotation on the screen. So let's talk about my account really quick. Just going to show my cards and X swords. If you want to pause it, you can. Just remember, Pierce helps ABL. You want 25% Pierce if you can. I'm only sitting at 16, so that would help my score if I was able to amplify that a little bit further. There's my cards. Here are my X swords. All right, and again, that's just if you're comparing your score to my score, it's important to know the build I have. So details. Overcapped on all the critical ones, the most important ones. You absolutely need his Fallen Souls uniform, which is seasonal and he comes out in October. It is worth it. It is an incredible uniform. It is at Mythic. Here are the Mythic options. Unfortunately, I don't have all the options Mythic, like the Baron Zemo one here is normal. All the rest are Mythic, though, which does help. All right, so Urus, make sure they're all amplified, at least 5 stars. Don't equip less than 5 stars in these characters unless you don't care about your score. But if you're watching this, you probably do. For some reason, Cable seems to be his best striker, and you don't need to strike or cancel today, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. If you were going to strike or cancel today, you would want to use someone like Gambit or April Fool's Deadpool if you actually own that uniform like I do, because it causes Fracture, which allows you to cancel. I have to swap Cancel to Thanos because Thanos is able to use Fracture on one of his skills. I have Poa here. Pretty much any of the attack sets are fine. Poa, Overdrive, or Hawkeyes, as long as they are 6 stars and all red. That's the important piece. We got Order Artifact over here for the type match, and then we have a CTP of Rage going on. So let me talk about the team, some alternatives that you can consider, and we will wrap up this video. So if I go back over here to Alliance Battle, I've got Black Bolt for his leadership because he increases himself by 65% of basic attack. Basic attack's not as good as damage dealt, but it is a great leadership ability, so he's definitely worth having on the team. Thanos pretty much does nothing for you other than the swap cancel. I don't even think he has something on his uniform that's beneficial. Yeah, everything is for self, so he literally does nothing but cancel. He's kind of dead weight, but again, unless you're going to use a striker to cancel with, and if you don't have another support character, you're kind of not with a lot of options. And I don't have Thanos at a tier 4 or anything, so it's not like I can double support Thanos as an alternative. I also don't have a tier 4 Odin, which is another alternative for today, but we'll talk about that. Ghost Panther here is probably the best support, probably going to be on any of the team-ups that I'm going to suggest here in a second for alternative runs. He has that damage dealt of 45%, which is important. That's basically all he's giving, other than the fact that I think he is worthy of an insight. So I actually did put an insight on him here. It definitely helps to increase your score overall. So yeah, that to me, in my opinion, this is probably the best team up. Now, you do have some alternatives. You could use Odin. Odin is a great option for today. You would, of course, run your team a little bit differently, but you probably could double support Odin. He doesn't have his own leadership, really. So, no, he does. Actually, that's right. His newest uniform does. It has an increase lightning damage. So you could double support him. Richard Rider is a great option, but he only works for heroes. Here he is. It's passive, so it's that extra damage dealt, which we really, really love, that 40%. And I thought he had some sort of, that's just his leadership with that 30% energy. So yeah, just that's the only thing you're really getting from him is the superhero bonus. So you could run this team. You could also run Thor, and run Thor as the lead here, because he, if you have his artifact, he does have an artifact that allows you to do more damage based upon your lightning resist. So, I mean, you can kind of use him as his own lead to a degree, but I've noticed that tier 4 Odin is better than Thor. My tier 3 Odin actually competes with the score that he can dish out. So both of those are possible team-ups for today. If you were going to use Thanos, you could probably support him, use his own leadership, because he, again, has a self-lead with Ghost Panther, and I don't know if you really have a good option for a secondary support for a villain. Which is unfortunate. Maybe we'll get some more options in the future, but I can't think of any of these characters that can get any sort of support for him. So, yeah, if you're going to go this route, you're going to have, again, dead weight. And with a tier 3 versus a tier 4, but even at a tier 4, I'm pretty sure Black Bolt still outscores Thanos. So this, in my opinion, is the most optimal team. Even though, if you have a tier 4 Odin, he might be able to outscore Black Bolt. I just haven't seen that or confirmed that for myself yet. So there you go. There's some alternative options. Some of the things you can do and consider for building your team out. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, consider a thumb up and commenting. It helps the algorithm. And may your ABL score be as high as possible. I'll catch you in the next one.